Howdy y'all, welcome back. We are back again to play Danganronpa MAUVE. Last time we left off, chapter 2, we was in the middle of the investigation for Rika's murder, which I'm so upset about. I thought Rika was going to survive for a little longer. But we were in the middle of having a long, drawn-out conversation about alibis. Now we're going to go and carry on with the rest of the investigation. So let us go ahead and
Danganronpa.
okay, so he wants us to talk to this guy, Satoshi Shitanda. I always forget these people's names. I'm so irritated. Okay, Satoshi. As I approached Shitanda, I noticed he was holding something that looked very suspicious in one hand. It was a blood bag stored in the infirmary. At this point, I couldn't help but speak up. What are you doing? Can't you tell? It's a science experiment. Ignoring my question, Shitanda opened the blood pack and suddenly started dripping blood on the floor. He wasn't pouring recklessly, but rather carefully, tilting the wrist bit by bit and gently pouring. Soon 3 red circles, each about 1 to 2 centimeters in diameter, appeared on the tile carpet. What is it? Shitanda still didn't answer, but instead reached out two first of 3 circles, lightly brushing his hand over it. When he turned his hand over, I saw the tips of his fingers were stained red. Shitanda rummaged through his pockets and pulled out 2 items. I've never seen this thanking face. Have we seen it? I don't think we've seen it. And this is just literally like apostrophe, carrot apostrophe. One was a packet of tissues and the other was a packet of wet wipes. Shitanda tore open a packet of wet wipes, took one out to wipe his fingers, and then opened the packet of tissues, taking out 1 sheet. Then he was rubbing a second circle, different from the first one he had rubbed earlier, with a tissue in various directions. The blood left a smear, and there was blood on the tissue, but the intensity of the second circle seemed unchanged. Next, Shitanda picked up the wet wipe he had used earlier and rubbed this 3rd circle with it. Exclamation points and a degree symbol. After a brief rubbing, the 3rd circle was erased quite cleanly, but the water had seeped into the carpet, leaving a dark stain. Shitanda raised his head and looked at the clock on the wall for a moment. 47, 48, 49. Is he measuring the time? 60. Exactly 1 minute later, Shitanda lowered his head and focused on the bloodstain again. Once again, he touched the 1st circle with his finger and lightly brushed it as he had before. This time, no blood came out. He raised his finger again and rubbed it a bit harder this time, and only then did blood appear. Ooh. Shitanda nodded, and then suddenly, he spat on the carpet. A new stain of saliva appeared next to 3 bloodstains. Even though I could understand the bloodstains, the spit was so sudden I was taken aback. Shitanda ignored me and once again took out a tissue to wipe away the saliva stains. Saliva seeped into the tissue, leaving a shape that resembled a bloodstain from just moments ago. However, it seemed they hadn't been able to clean it completely as the stains remained on the carpet. don't you feel any need to explain? Yeah, no, because it is as you can see it. As I see it. What exactly?
Wait! What the hell is going on here?
Oh wow. Oh. Okay. Oh wow, what a surprise. What's wrong?
Surprise? That should be my question. I gave you time to investigate, and what are you doing dirtying the library carpet? Are you rebelling or something, huh?
Dirtying, huh? Dirtying, huh? If you look at the act itself, it's not wrong. But what I'm doing now is also a clear investigation. What? What's wrong with me? I need to get into character. Hold on.
What? This is an investigation?
An excellent investigation. Shouldn't we conduct an experiment to see how the bloodstains were dragged across the floor at the scene were created? Wait, should we conduct an experiment to see how the bloodstains that were dragged across the floor at the scene were created? Yeah, okay. I was like, I'm confused by that. Okay, I understand now. Why? Since when have you guys been watching? Not just Tomoe, but everyone's looking this way. Tsubaki, Mikawa, and Tomoe collected fingerprints while swarming around, Justin and Kanna observing the scene. And the rest of the team continued with the investigation. All eyes were suddenly on us. Mr. Monokuma suddenly appeared on the scene. How could I possibly not pay attention? I was just curious about those traces myself, so if you could show me directly, that would be even more appreciated. If you like, I could even contribute something too. It's alright, it's all over. I've already processed the results in my head, so you'll just need to hear the conclusion.
It seems like you're achieving some results, so I'll let it slide this time. No second chances.
Am I the only one who doubts the transparency of this process? I wonder if there was any kind of deception or trickery involved. What? I'm just trying to gather clues. You don't need to suspect me. Right, Miyuki was next to me. He's my witness. He's seen everything from the blood bag being opened to the blood stains on the floor and all the experiments in between, so please don't doubt the process. Well, if Miyuki saw it, it might be believable, but if possible, it'd be better to do such an experiment in front of everyone. Miyuki, the level of trust between you and me is worlds apart. From my perspective, you seem pretty suspicious too. After casually uttering an inappropriate remark towards me, Shitanda began to explain the details of the experiment to people in the library. That's the content of the experiment. What do you think? I'm really sorry, but I don't understand what that meant. I told you everything from start to finish. Should I elaborate a bit more? I don't understand why you are distinguishing between wet wipes and tissues to begin with. It's simple. When we usually clean the floor, there are two methods, right? Wiping with something wet and wiping with something dry. I see. Then here's a question for Miyuki. Which side looks more like the blood stain at the scene? The side wiped with a wet tissue or the side wiped with a dry tissue? Huh? A question suddenly came to me. Ooh, girl. I don't remember. Hold on. Let me go back and read my let me go back and look at the last thing. Last video. How am I supposed to remember that? I'm looking back at the VOD from last week. Or 2 weeks ago, I meant. Okay, we go. I mean, I don't know. I'm sorry. How am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to know this? I'm sorry. I was not paying attention. I'll just say neither. I don't know. I'm sorry. Neither of them seem similar. Okay. I don't know. Was I supposed to get something? I don't get it. I don't understand how I was supposed to know that. I can't see. Huh? That can't be. Thinking of a blood stain wiped with the dry tissue, it's similar to how the blood just wipes away without changing its consistency, right? Oh, I see. Okay. I mean, I don't know how I was supposed to understand that. Okay. Let me look back at the CG in the last one. I mean, I don't know how I was supposed to figure that out, but okay. So what's the story? The culprit wiped the floor with a dry object? That's right. Is that important? Unconvincing. No explanation was given. Not even a reason for spitting. We'll have to wait a bit longer. The experiment's results haven't come in yet. I really don't understand what you mean, Mr. Shitanda. But these will all be evidence necessary for deduction. Otherwise, there's no way we can conduct such a meticulous experiment. I've shared everything I can at this point. The rest is up to you guys to figure out. Excuse me. Wiped with a dry object. Excuse me, fingerprint identification team. Can one of you follow me? Huh? I'll go. What's going on, Mrs. Ego? After hearing what Shitanda said, I think we need to investigate this floor more thoroughly. Ego then lowered her body to the floor as if she was prostrating herself and scanned the carpet. From what I can see, the area swept on the floor seems quite wide. What do you think? Tomoe also placed his face close to the carpet next to Ego, as if to bury his nose in the floor. That's true. The dust between the carpets has disappeared. Only around here. As for how much exactly? Tomoe then walked around the corpse like a four-legged animal, examined it thoroughly. About 1 meter in width and length, I suppose. It's quite spacious. Yeah, me too. I too was curious and approached them, and like them I lay down on the carpet and stared intently at the carpet. According to Tomoe, it was particularly dust-free in the area on the carpet, and its extent was quite significant. What could the carpet have been trying to do by rubbing such a large area? I can't say for sure yet. There must be a good reason for meticulously rubbing an area of 1 square meter in a place where one had to run away as quickly as possible. Tomoe, check the area around where it's been wiped for any fingerprints. Oh, yes. That's right. Is it possible that the thing the culprit wiped off was was the fingerprints? The culprit, for whatever reason, touched the floor and then realizing that fingerprints, hastily wiped the floor. It's a very plausible story. Tomo quickly got to work. As I said, the final test results aren't out yet, so don't touch those marks. We'll check them right before the trial. Chitanda then carefully tossed the blood pack, which still had some contents remaining, along with the tissues and wet wipes, into the corner.
Hey! You definitely messed this up now!
Oh, that's why I told you. The experiment results aren't in yet. We need those to catch the culprits. Just be patient and wait. Is the evidence that important?
I'll let it slide since you said it's important. Anyway, stop staying on the floor with blood or spit!
Well, I tried my best, but it seems like no fingerprints were detected. It seems like the investigation was completed while Monokuma was still around. Are you sure you didn't miss anything? I can proudly say I did my best. Nothing resembling a fingerprint was detected. It's confirmed. Culprit wiped the floor? Yeah. We can't definitively say that. Whether fingerprints were left on the floor or not, if the floor was cleaned, the results will be the same. Also, we cannot rule out the possibility that collecting fingerprints was difficult due to the environmental characteristics of the carpet. So then it's just a possibility, not definitive evidence. But let's keep this in mind. Since you're going to remember things anyway, remember this too. What else? It's been about 10 minutes since I started the experiment. I looked up at the clock and sure enough, just as he said, the minute hand had passed 2 numbers. And let's see. Chitanda knelt on the floor again, placed his finger on the first circle and rubbed it vigorously. But no matter how much he rubbed, no more blood came out. Additional information. Blood on the carpet will completely soak within 10 minutes and will no longer stain. I don't know where it will be used, but for now, let's all keep that in mind. Is that really it? Yep, that's it. Thanks everyone for watching. Okay, so we got a lot of people talking. Okay, so it's just people. Let's look at the body. I came face to face with Kizuki's body again. A large amount of bloodstains are visible against Kizuki's white gown. What's this? Something strange is lodged in my mind, as if it were lodged between my nerves. How could I possibly explain this since an instance of unease? It occurred to me. Near Kizuki's body, what should be there is missing. The toilet paper? What's up with that? I remember this.
Actually, I have a little bit of rhinitis. Since there's a lot of dust here, my nose keeps on running. Achoo! There was quite a pile of toilet paper in the locker rooms, right? I brought some.
Kizuki then tore off a small piece of tissue paper along the dotted line and rubbed it against her nose. Kizuki clearly brought a roll of toilet paper, claiming she had rhinitis, and she was clearly carrying it until the day before the incident. But there's no trace of that tissue left at the scene. Did Kizuki put it somewhere else? It's unnatural that she suddenly threw away the tissue she said she always carried around on her on the day of the incident. Maybe she left it somewhere in the corner of the library and forgot. That's possible, but if not... What's wrong with you, King? Did something suddenly pop into your head? It's nothing like that. And why are you here again? Someone like you looking through the shelf so urgently? You must be looking for something, right? I know you're wary of me, but we're past the point of worrying about that now, aren't we? We have to uncover the truth about Kizuki's death. Guess I have no choice but to fall for it. Kizuki kept a roll of toilet paper here. She said she sneezed in a lot of dusty places because of her allergies. But now I can't find that paper anywhere.
Eh?
You mean toilet paper rolls? Do you know anything else about it? I seem to recall that she got it from the locker room. It was a new tissue, and since she didn't use it much, it was a new tissue, and since she didn't use it much, its size was quite large, so big that hiding it without showing a trace in her clothes was impossible. She started to scratch his cheek for a moment as if thinking about something. Then we have to find it. The fact that something was missing from the scene is a very important clue, right? But if we look for it, even if we look for it, this library is just so huge to begin with. If it's not found in the library, we have to search the whole school. We'll also have to verify the scene, so we'll most likely be short on time. Why don't we just leave it to someone else? There's an excess of manpower here. What's the point of keeping it? Right now, the busy ones are Tsuaki, Mikawa, Tomoe analyzing fingerprints, along with Justin and Kana who are monitoring the scene. Ask anyone else. There must be people who would be eager to take on a role and feel a sense of responsibility. Among the remaining people, a suitable person... Shinano. That would be great. I could ask him to search the school with Misaki. No, not with Kuzu. Huh? Why? Well, just my feeling. Those two are pretty close, right? Just for that reason? Okay. I'm scared. I'm nervous about that. Anyway, Shinano's partner must not be Kuzu. Remember that. I don't know exactly why, but I figured that there must be a reason why Shitanda thinks that way. I guess I'll have to talk to Shinano later. Okay. Who's this? Shinano's right there. Step ladder. Let's look at the step ladder. It is the step ladder that was originally placed in the library and was filled by Kizuki. That's it. It's red, so why is that all that I get? Okay, never mind. Why is Shinano not Kuzu? I was thinking, I'm like, wait a second, that's not Tsumaki. Right, that's the taxi driver. Okay, I was thinking that he was talking about, but no, Kuzu is the leader. Okay, interesting. Can we talk to him right now? Shinano, crouched in the corner of the library, had a noticeably pale complexion. Has the series of murders slowly reached its limit? Hey, Shinano. A person who was laughing and joking until yesterday is dead. To search their body and be covered in blood? Everyone's gone crazy. Shinano. Miyuki, I should thank you for supporting me so much during the last incident. I'm sorry. I'm really not confident about a second one. If we give up here... No, that doesn't mean I'm giving up. I just thought that all my efforts were in vain. What do you want from me? You didn't call me because you needed to, right? There's something I'm looking for right now. It should be at the scene, but it's gone. So I was going to ask you if you could search the whole entire school building for me. Is it necessary for a deduction? You'll be able to know whether it's needed or not after looking into it. But for now, with so little evidence left at the scene, I think it's most important to try something. Hearing things like that, I guess I can't refuse now. I don't really understand anything just by looking at the scene anyway, and all I can do is show what I've captured on camera. I guess I'll do something like this to survive, right? I don't know about that, but anyway, if you could find it for me, it would definitely help us. Uh-oh, Kuzu, don't let me Kuzu. Oops. I'm assuming that's gonna be her, right? Then I'll join too. Suddenly a familiar dialect, yeah, was heard from behind me. Oh no, Jumonji. Okay. One person in enough anyway, right? Let's look for it together. Jumonji, you? Yes. Are you disappointed? That's not it. But I guess I should say it's a little surprising. What kind of image am I even presenting to you guys? I want to live too, and I want to catch and kill whoever this Blacken is. Is it so strange to try and do something about it? That's not what I'm saying. Like you said, we can't just let Shinano find it alone, so I was wondering who else to ask. This is perfect timing. No objection, Shinano? Yeah, it doesn't matter who it is. But I need an explanation. What is that paper? What is that toilet paper that you're asking us to find? About that, I gave a brief explanation about the missing toilet paper. Well, I'll look for it everywhere I can, so just wait. I still feel like something's missing. If there's only 2 people, there's a chance that you might miss a possible location. If that's the case, I'll record it. If I filmed the search process and showed it to you and the rest of them, wouldn't you be able to see how thorough our investigation was? Yeah, that's a good idea. Would you mind? I have to do this so I can do my part in this investigation. Of course I don't mind. Are we done talking? Can we go? Yeah, good luck. I'll search thoroughly. I wonder if they'll be fine. Jumonji and I have known each other for a while now, so if we can somehow get rid of her uncooperative attitude, she can't be trusted. Shouldn't also recorded the process with a video camera, which would be helpful for later review. However, it is true that there are concerns because the combination of these two is so unpredictable. For now, I guess I have no choice but to believe that they can do it. Okay. How is it, guys? I'm doing my best. Mikawa was painting on the graduation album of Hope's Peak. Mikawa was painting on the graduation album of Hope's Peak Academy's 59th class a weapon in the shape of a sword. I wonder if the 59th generation seniors would ever imagine that the album would be used to take someone else's life. At first glance, one corner of the case was stained with blood, and from there, blood splattered across the front cover of the case. That cover must be where Kizuki was struck with. Oh wait, but the way the blood splattered. It seems like this might be a waste of time. A waste of time? I tried my best, but no fingerprints were found. I wonder if the killer was wearing gloves when they held the weapon. Or maybe they just hit it with it and then wiped it off. Judging by the bloodstains, it seems like Tsubaki is right. Why? Look here. I point to the bloodstain on the cover. It's slightly smudged, isn't it? After the paper-like case absorbed the blood, it seemed like something that was rubbed against it, leaving this smeared trace. The only reason to rub it is to remove fingerprints. And this book was used as a weapon after Shinano returned it, right? If that's the case, then at least Shinano's fingerprints should remain, but they are not. There's no explanation other than the fact that the culprits wiped away their own fingerprints along with Shinano's fingerprints. Oh, that's convincing. I can see that being the case. I have a question. Can I ask you something? Yes, of course. It's just that the bloodstains on the case look a bit unnatural. Do you happen to know why? That's, as Mikawa pointed out, the blood splatter on the cover was unnaturally cut off on the other side, given the location and shape of the cut off part. That must be the part that was being held by hand. It's exactly the shape of a finger, isn't it? I can't really even see what this thing is look like. Can we get a zoom in, like a close-up, please? Oh, before I knew it, Eggo was behind me. Now that you mention it, it does seem that way. They lifted the edge of the book with their hand and struck her temple. A little blood splattered, landing on the book cover. However, the blood did not stain the part of the book they were holding. Instead, it got on the hand. It's entirely possible. Can you give me that? Oh, here you go. Judging by the way it bounced, the culprit must have swung the book by the corner. Holding it like this and striking it down was probably the easiest way to do it. Engo took the weapon from Tomoe's hand and held the book according to the pattern of the bloodstain. There were 2 fatal injuries on Kizuki's head, one near her eye and one on her temple. She probably got hit in the eye first by the book, oh my, and then stumbled or fell onto the floor. At that time, the temple was positioned upwards, making it easy to strike, and the culprit aimed for that spot. Okay, I thought she hit herself on the bookshelf, but I guess the culprit went and struck her temple. Because I was saying, like, I don't know if you would kill someone by striking them with a book. But even if it was a vital point, it wouldn't have led to death unless the impact was quite strong. Culprit must have struck with all they might. It's terrible. Oh, I see something new. Engo turned the weapon over and said that. There were also drops of blood on the back of the case, but they look very different from the ones on the front. The front is covered in blood like the splitters, and the back is covered in blood dots. That would mean that the 2 blood stains were transferred in different ways, if they are dot-shaped. I think I know. Actually, when you first discovered it, try to recall where the weapon was placed. Such a horrible memory. Doesn't remain in my head. I remember. It was definitely lying between blood drops, right? I look back on my memories. It must be the blood that splattered on the floor when they put the book down. They put the book down on the bloody floor and then the blood dripped onto the book. Traces on the weapon have been recorded in the e-handbook. You can check it in the truth bullet menu. Right. Hey, Justin, can you look here? Ego moved deeper into the library and then suddenly spoke to Justin, who was monitoring the scene. Have you ever killed someone? What? Or maybe being familiar with a scene where someone has died? Whatever, doesn't matter. What kind of question is that all of a sudden? Why? Ask that. I'm trying to make sure whether this is a weapon or not. It could have been disguised for some reason. As a bounty hunter, Justin has been roaming the battlefield and walking the tightrope of life between life and death. Was it a judgment that he would know a lot about weapons? Justin stood still, staring at Ego, then quickly took the weapon. Do you think that that's definitely the weapon? No. Affirmative. Splattered blood. The skin tissue exists. Impossible. Camouflage for a non-professional. I see. I definitely thought Kizuki was the only expert in this field. Come to think of it, there's no way Justin can't do it as well. As it happens, Mr. Justin is one of the few people with a clear alibi, along with Mr. Dyer and Mr. Shitanda. Mr. Justin's testimony will be credible. That's right. Even if it's not crucial testimony, we can't ignore such minor verification. Thanks for the testimony, and good luck keeping an eye on the scene. Appreciated. You too. The dangerous book has been recorded in the handbook. Well, then, let's continue our work. There's still a lot of room left in the library to examine. I would appreciate it if you could return the weapon. Tomoe took the weapon from Justin and took the book out of the case. Shouldn't we do it properly, all the way inside the pages? I stayed because I was curious about the results. After a few moments, unlike the case, the book itself isn't clean. Shinano's footprints were found in some spots. Oh, why is that? My guessing is that they didn't touch the book itself, so they feel the need to clean it. Probably. I see. I understand. Still, I wish there was at least one missing fingerprint. What a shame. Was there nothing special to gather from that? I turned my head away from the murder weapon. Just as I was about to turn my head, I noticed an object the size of a thumbnail on the desk that had not been visible a moment ago. Is this a piece of paper? I reached out and touched it, and it was much softer and thinner than regular paper. Oh, it must be toilet paper. Is that a piece of tissue paper? Was this here before? Miyuki? What is that? There's some on the desk. It looks like a piece of trash. Did someone drop it? But when we were preparing for the fingerprint identification at the desk, there wasn't anything like that. That's right. I sweep the desk clean to prevent foreign substances from getting in. I hadn't seen anything like this until I started talking to you guys. So, you're saying that it suddenly came up in the middle of our conversation? It must have been some trash that fell off our clothes. How could something so small be of any kind of evidence? I agree. I don't think it contains anything significant. I see. Of course it looks like obvious trash on the surface, but some kind of intuition held onto my heart and wouldn't let go. I should remember this. I stuffed the piece of tissue into my pants pocket. An unidentified paper has been recorded in the handbook. You can check it in the True Bullet menu. Okay. I examined every nook and cranny, but none seemed to have changed significantly. The dust between the parts remained the same. It didn't seem to have much to do with the crime scene, but I think it's worth investigating. I crouched down and looked around the ladder. I don't think there's anything special, but just in case, I should ask the fingerprint investigation team. Hey guys, I have a favor to ask. Could you please do it for me? This is odder than I thought. What I'm saying is, if this continues, I think the entire library will turn to dust. Still, it's my job. That's right, but I can't refuse a request like this either. It's from Miyuki after all. It's nothing special. I just wanted to check out the ladder in the corner. Are you talking about the ladder? Since it's public property, I think there will be a lot of fingerprints left on it. Given the considerable distance from the scene, I'm doubtful whether those fingerprints are related to the incident. Well, we've got nothing to lose anyway. As Tsubaki said, you guys are in a situation where you might end up covering the entire library in powder, aren't you? Alright, I'll take care of it. Thanks, and I look forward to working with you. Okay. After quite some time had passed, fingerprint team, how are things going? Did you find any suspicious prints? No, all the fingerprints were wiped off the weapon. And there weren't any on Kizuki's clothes or nearby the bookshelf. It's a total bust, a complete bust. I'm sorry. I don't think I could be of any help. They must have been eager to get away from the scene, but they even took care of the aftermath. What a meticulous criminal. Oh, and I also looked into the ladder at Mr. Miyuki's request. Miss Kizuki, the victim, and Mr. Mikawa, who testified at having moved the ladder. No additional fingerprints were found besides those two individuals. Since not many people came to the library, there probably weren't many who needed to use the ladder in the first place. Among Jumonji, Kizuki, and myself, who primarily researched the library, I could reach the very end of the bookshelf. But you probably couldn't find a reason to use it since our heights are similar. If both sets of fingerprints have been preserved intact, then the culprit wouldn't have wiped them away. Right. Seems like it's unrelated to the crime. Subladder has been recorded to the e-handbook. You can check it in the truth bullet menu. Hey, got a moment? Huh? What's up, Justin? There is offer to suggest. What are you going to say? How about physical examination? Physical examination? Physical examination? Why? At the scene existed a large amount of blood. There a possibility that belongs to the culprit. I can't deny the possibility itself. However, there are no signs of a struggle or injuries on Kizuki's body. Wouldn't it be a bit difficult to say that the culprit was injured? But isn't it worth a try? If there's a real scar, we won't have to suffer about this anymore. That's true. As it stands, there is no particular reason not to do it. What do you all think? Anyone who disagrees? No, in fact, if you pose it here, wouldn't it be like you confessing that you're the culprit? It means you have something to hide. No one particular voice opposition. Okay, then first, if I take it off, it'll be fine, right? Just a minute. Kanna then unzipped the jumper she was wearing and began to lift up her sailor uniform top. Hi! Wait, why are you taking it off now? If it's a physical exam, I have to take it off, right? Well, that's true, but we're in front of the guys. I don't really mind. There was no need to take it off in the first place. If you sustain a minor injury that caused bleeding, it wouldn't be in an area protected by clothing. Examining exposed areas like the arms or legs should be sufficient. I see. Kanna then started putting on her clothes again. Why is the reaction so slow? Sometimes I really wonder what kind of mindset you have. I mean, if you're just gonna look at superficial like arms and legs, you don't really even need to segregate by sex, but okay. Shall we divide into groups then? I'll take care of the girls, so Justin, you take care of the boys. I understand. So each group moved to the front and back of the library, so obediently submitted to the inspection. Excuse me. Justin, any luck? None. Yeah. There's no way the culprit would be exposed so easily, so all the bloodstains on the floor are confirmed to be the victims, right? Perhaps because they had not expected anything from the beginning, the students didn't show much agitation. And then, oh, Shirano and Jumonji aren't here though.
Ahem! Hello! This is a school announcement. It's about time, isn't it? The heart-pounding class trial is about to begin. The location's the same as last time. Come to the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
I'm trying to figure out how to do the laugh. It's time. I guess it can't be avoided. Let's go, guys. If we're late, who knows what kind of trouble we'll get into. Wait, we still have some things to do. Chitanda, is that experiment still not over? I was just about to show you anyway. Chitanda walked purposely to the bloodstains in the corner of the library that had been created earlier, and then quickly glanced around. Okay. I see. The saliva hasn't dried up yet. The wet wipe marks are the same way. I also hurried over to examine the scene, and as he said, the bloodstains and watermarks were pretty much left as they were. It doesn't seem to dry at all. It's just the same. Does it have good absorbency? How many hours will we be given for the investigation? The body was discovered a little after 6 p.m. and now it's a little past 8. So about 2 hours have passed. Huh? Really? That's perfect. What exactly do you mean by that? That's... and just not gonna tell us. We're back. I searched everywhere, but I couldn't find anything like that piece of toilet paper. Toilet paper is usually provided in the warehouse, bathroom, and locker room. I couldn't tell which one was used. The warehouse wasn't great either, and quite a few of them were torn. So y'all about to check the school while we're supposed to be going down to the Wassum? Alright, that reduces our workload. We need to check the locker rooms and the restrooms. That place only allows people of the same gender, so I couldn't really check it out. Then are you saying since we're walking to the red door anyway, we're also going to check the locker rooms and restrooms along the way? Right. Since it doesn't seem like we'll find anything more by searching the same, let's just gather the existing evidence and go. It sounds like there aren't enough clues to identify the culprit right now. Okay, so I shouldn't feel bad if I don't know who did it. Yeah, you're right. I still can't quite grasp it. What? The trial's coming up soon, isn't it? No. If Shitana doesn't know the truth, what should we do? Do we think we can win the trial safely? First, we need to follow the procedure to verify what Shitanda said. Let's hurry. Okay, let's get going right away. Uh-oh. And so we left the scene. This tissue doesn't have a tear line. This one too. Same here. Seven high school boys swarming to the bathroom to check the toilet paper. How bizarre this feels. In any case, the verification of this restroom is done. It seems all the toilet paper is without perforations or tears. The same goes for the women's restroom. Mitsuki was leaning her body from out beyond the door, unsure of when she had emerged. There are no tear lines, and I don't see any signs that would indicate it was specifically at the scene. But why do we need to check whether there are any tears or not? I don't have time to explain right now, so I'll let you know later. For now, it's important just to keep an eye on it. So we finished verifying the restrooms on the second floor of the school building. Next is the locker room area, right? The locker room, a place where I have some pretty bad memories, but now it's not the time to be bothered by that. I moved my feet with the thought that if anyone opened the entrance to the leading to the swimming pool, I would immediately turn my head. I'm still thinking how crazy it is. He just opened the door a crack and he went and fainted by that. That is crazy. How traumatized is he? There's tissue paper here with a tear line.
Oh.
The condition of these is truly awful. Torn, crushed. At this rate, I can't tell which is old and which is new. I knew that there were several stacks of toilet paper in one of the cabinets located inside the locker room because I had seen it during the initial inspection on the first day. I didn't know the situation was this bad. It seems like another dead end. On to the next one. Yeah, I knew he was about to say that.
Ah! I'm getting a crick in my neck from waiting! Why is anyone coming?
落ち着いて。
The stream is so poor. YouTube keeps saying that the stream is not receiving enough to maintain smooth streaming. Why is the connection so poor today? Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, as long as this don't disconnect, it should be fine. Just 3 minutes. Then I think I'll be able to figure out who the culprit is.
With that weird expression on your face, I can't tell if you're joking or serious. And you know, this place should have been marked as off limits from the very beginning.
Off limits? What are you talking about?
Oh, to put it briefly, the doors leading to the pool were out of order, both on the men's and women's sides. It was left open between 4 p.m. and around 6 p.m. because it was stuck that way. I thought it wasn't going to work, but I fixed it up nicely while you guys were investigating. But now I'm going to make this door unusable for the time being, just in case it breaks again.
Then Misaki and Tsubaki exercised in an environment where the swimming pool was visible?
ならば。
Okay. Interesting. In that case, we won't be able to go into the swimming pool.
It's not like you're able to enjoy any water activities during the investigation, right? I'll definitely have the repairs done by tomorrow, so don't worry about it.
Such a serious malfunction. This shoddy equipment is not befitting of our reputation.
This is just mortifying. It feels like I'm just making more mistakes.
Broken locker room door has been recorded in the handbook.
Anyway, you got a Shitanda? Huh? Mr. Shitanda?
Uh-oh, he's freaking out. Oof. Malfunction? 6 p.m.? Then this is the end. No. Isn't this insufficient? Just one more place to check.
何か。
Mr. Shitanda? First floor bathroom! Whoa! What's going on?
さあ。
Monokuma, I'll just look at one more place. The first floor bathroom.
Huh?
What? I mean...
What? So sudden?
You're just going... You're just going to take us along to put on the ultimate slaughter show, aren't you? I'll make that wish come true, so just let me see one more place. What do you mean by that? I'm confused. After saying that, Shitanda ran out of the men's locker room. And headed towards the women's locker room next door and started pounding on the door.
Huh?
What is it? What happened?
どうだろ
Nothing. It's just that I had reached the obvious point where I was right in front of the main issue. Did you search everything in there? Are there any did you search everything in there? Are there any tiered toilet papers? Huh? What? No, but I mean, if the problem's right in front, then bring everyone out now. Misaki, dumbfounded, led the girls out, and Chitanda started running at full speed towards the first floor. However, he wasn't particularly fast, so I could catch up at a leisurely pace. Okay. You're at the front of the main issue? What are you talking about? There was no response coming back. Chitanda hurried down the stairs, skipping almost 2 or 3 steps at a time, then headed straight for the men's restroom. In this situation, being next to you is also coincidentally awkward. What do you mean by that? No big deal. It just feels like I'm the protagonist of a mystery novel. Chitanda left a pretty strange reply and continued rummaging behind the partition, while I watched his actions behind him. Like the second floor restroom, the first floor restroom's toilet paper also lacked perforations. Judging by the specifications and texture, it seemed to be the same brand as the one on the second floor. Chitanda seemed to be out of breath from running as he left the restroom while catching his breath. Even the girls in the restroom next door had already finished their inspection and were staring intently at this way. Of course, not with so favorable reviews. Of course, with not so favorable reviews. Okay. How was it? There weren't any dotted lines here either. Disappeared toilet paper has been recorded in the handbook. You can check it in the True Bullet menu. Okay then, 2 final questions. Kuzu, what? That is very strange, yeah. Kuzu, why didn't you tell me the locker room door was broken? You knew about it since you were working out there. Oh, you guys didn't know? I assumed you guys would. It didn't seem like that big of a deal. Okay. Well, okay then. I guess you could see it that way. That choice did cost me a precious 5 minutes and a bit of my nerves though. Next, Monokuma, the broken door in that changing room was beyond your ability to fix. So the other students wouldn't have been able to do anything about it either, right? Well, that's right? Oh. Great. I'm scared by this. Why does he have no face on? The expression on Chitanda's face at that moment as I saw it from the side was one he had never displayed before. It was something very strange and unfamiliar, something that was difficult to describe. How do you figure out who the culprit is? Oh my god, it has a regular mouth though too. I figured out who the culprit is. What? What? How? Is that true? Wow, Chitanda, new sprite, and he has an actual mouth. With plus sign eyes. Yeah, let's go to the trial right now. I want to do it when my head is clear. No, if you know, you can just tell us right now. Do you really need to go to the trial? Exactly. That's what you mentioned in the last trial. If he said it in advance, the culprit will also prepare their excuses in advance as well. So you said that we must identify the culprit based on conclusions drawn together and drawn together in the trial to block any escape routes.
そうだね。
Yes, that's
いい
right.
な。
Just to let you know, I won't tolerate you pretending to lead us through reasoning just to only to test us again. I know. This time I'm really gonna give you my all, so don't be so harsh on me.
Hey, you guys, I think you've talked through everything by now. Can we please get back to the trial?
Wait, just this one last thing. Shirano and Jumonji, can you please participate in the physical examination? Yeah, they hadn't done it yet. Right, those two were missing during the inspection earlier. It's a procedure that cannot be overlooked. Monaco was just giving them all the extra time. Like, Monaco would not do that before in other what's-my-jiggums. In other games. Like, he said, no, come now. If it's time for the trial, it's time for the trial. But he's just giving them all the time in the world to finish up the investigation, which is also crazy. After a bit of back and forth with Jumonji, we finished our examinations on both of them and moved on to the red door on the first floor.
Everyone's here? Then take the elevator you see straight ahead. It will take you to the trial grounds. It'll be you who decides your fates during the class trial. I'll be going out first and wait for you.
Well, we ended up here again. We have a task ahead of us, so I'll just say this. Kizuki truly loved us with all her sincerity. In the first incident, she conducted a blood test, and this time she went as far as to teach us fingerprint investigations. She genuinely cared for us, even revealing that she possesses an ability that would be extremely dangerous from the perspective of the culprit. Let's catch the culprit who killed Kizuki with our own hands. If you have something to say, feel free to tell me. Even if you have a problem, shout out my name. As Miss Mizuki said, we can do this, everyone. Yeah, let's hang in there. If we can't find the culprit, we have no way out anyway. Such a scary thing to say. How could you be so calm about it? Alright, we should probably get going. Okay then, let's go. So you're just gonna make sure we save. You're gonna automatically make sure we save. Okay. Go to the class trial? Yes. It's a door I've already opened once. We'll fall endlessly deep into this again. Will we be able to return this time alive? No, I'm overthinking this again. I shook off the intruding thoughts. Oh gosh, hold on, and flung the door wide open. Hopefully, okay. Good thing I saved. If it doesn't give us a chance to check out, excuse me, the bullets before we start, I'm gonna close the game out and open back up so I can see. The familiar vibrations don't cease throughout our descent. The trembling reaches my legs, spine, and neck. If I were to let go of this tension right now, I feel like I'd collapse right here. I steeled myself, drawing a breath to steady my heartbeat, to not let fear overcome me, and lifted my head. The flickering light couldn't calm my anxious heart at all. And so, in that terrible shuddering tremor,
Welcome back! Oh dear! You should have said if you wanted to come back and see this place again. I could have shown you around even without a murder happening.
cut the crap and just get started already.
Well, you all seem quite tense. I guess there's no fun in watching this, so what, should I skip the introduction? No, I like the introduction. Whatever it is, the beginning is what matters.
You're still mumbling nonsense, Miss Kana. What's the point of formality in this kind of activity? It starts quickly and ends quickly. Isn't that all that matters?
Oh, that hurt a little.
Regardless of Kana's incomprehensible words, it begins again. It begins again. And I didn't want to see that again. You always have to show me Hiruto. You always have to show me him. I don't want to see him again. It's gonna break my heart every time I see it. I've lost them both in succession. Perhaps the two people who might have been the closest to me in this killing school life. I have to dwell on two instances of regret and failure. Even this time, it was a murder that I could have prevented with my own hands. She, who knew how to care for her friends more than anyone else. She, who tried to take the lead in stopping a murder. Especially her, who thought of me with great fondness. And now, she's gone. My atonement for Kizuki is not a choice, but a duty. Whether Shitanda knows the truth, how diligently the other students participate in the trial, or whether my life is on the line in this trial, that is just a secondary concern. I am here in this trial to find the person who killed Dika Kizuki and make them pay with my own hands. That is the best thing I could do for Kizuki, who has already passed away. I'm so sad seeing them. They look so good. All the splash art looks so good, but oh my gosh. The curtain rises again. A life-threatening trial. A life-threatening lie. A life-threatening betrayal. A life-threatening reasoning. A life-threatening excuse. A life-threatening trust. A life-threatening class trial. Do you want to save the data up until now? Yes. Okay, hold on. Hold on. We'll just do it. I don't know. I think it's gonna go right into the trial, but let me just see.
Hello! We know each other, right? Oh, right. The fact that I showed up here just before the trial this time, it means you can figure out who the culprit. It means you can figure out the culprit right before the trial. There's really no need to be surprised that she taught to figure out the culprit. You can figure it out too if you use your head a little, just a little, you know. All right then, I'll give you a chance to introduce yourselves again this time. Of course, I'll also be providing a limited edition commemorative item that you can only get through this opportunity. This is different from last time, so I hope the players who successfully introduced the culprit last time will also enjoy it. Of course, there's no penalty this time either, so feel free to skip it if you're not interested. Even reading a mystery novel without trying to solve it has its own charm, you know? Well then, what do you think? Are you starting to have ideas who the culprit might be? Oh really? Yeah, I guess you might not be up for it. Still, it's so much fun to use your brain sometimes. I hope you definitely challenge yourself in the next chapter.
Hello. Oh. Okay, hold on. Let me just get out of this right now. And we're gonna go and look at the truth bullets. Oh gosh, people said this trial was supposed to be crazy. And I don't know. Let me see. Okay, truth bullets. Angel's alibi. I wandered around the first floor classroom for 10 minutes, then entered the warehouse at 12 minutes and met Mikawa. I went to the library with Mikawa at 18 minutes and retrieved the step ladder. Wandered around for 10 minutes, went to the warehouse at 12, met Mikawa, went to the library with Mikawa at 18. Okay. We continued our investigation together until 45 minutes, and after sending Mikawa off, I stayed in the warehouse until the hour. Oops. After being locked in a private room for 48 minutes, I wandered out. I got there at tea time. I was in dinner until the hour, in the diner until the hour. I started working out with Tsumaki in the women's locker room at 15 minutes and finished at 45 minutes. After that, I went to the diner with Tsumaki, but then suddenly turned around to the stairs and returned to the women's locker room alone to work out. I stayed there until the hour. Why did you leave and go back? That's very strange. I don't know, it might be Kuzu. She might have done it. I don't know, there's just why I'm thinking it might also be her, because I really don't understand how she can keep up this charade after the second chapter of being a leader. I'm not saying this is a charade, but to other people it might seem like a charade. Especially since Ukyo was trying to say how hurt he felt before, and now he's trying to trust her again, and this murder happened again. I don't know. Kuzu, I don't know, she might be killed off, but I don't know. I'm not really like sure about that. I feel like she's gonna survive a long time, but I'm not sure right now. But why did you go? Why'd you go to the gym, leave to the diner, then go back? I arrived at the diner 15 minutes and had tea time with Tadira. After that, at 50 minutes, I returned to my private room. Where'd she go? So it was around 50 minutes. After investigating the store for 27 minutes, I met Tomoe, who came in and chatted with him before leaving the store together at 53 minutes. At 54 minutes, I met Justin and his pair in the hallway. I went to question Tadira, but Justin thought me ended up following them into the room for 55 minutes until the clock marked the entire hour. I left my private room at 28 minutes and returned my books at 30 minutes. I returned to the private room and then went to dine at 45 minutes before I stayed until the hour. I processed reporting the screen. I stayed into Dira's private room until 10 minutes. Then I arrived at the diner at 12 minutes and enjoyed the tea time until 52 minutes. At 54 minutes, I encountered Shitanda while walking down the hallway. I avoided his persistent presence and went into the nearby AV room where I stayed until the hour. All the above was done with Tadira's company. Slept for the entire hour. I started working out with Misaki in the women's locker room for 15 minutes and finished at 45 minutes. After that, I moved with Misaki to the diner and then went to my private room for 50 minutes. At 20 minutes, I stopped by the warehouse and saw Angry Mikawa's faces. 1 minute later, I left the warehouse and returned to my private room. At 30 minutes, I visited the store and conducted some investigation while talking with Shitanda until 53 minutes. After that, I returned to my private room. I was in the warehouse for 10 minutes, met Ego at 12 minutes, and then for the warehouse together, I briefly at 16 minutes, grabbed the ladder at 18 minutes, and returned to 20 minutes. Continue investigation until 45 minutes, placed the ladder at 47 minutes, arrived at the diner at 45 minutes, where I stayed until the hour. Kizuki's clothes were splattered with blood. Not only the gown, but also the suit underneath is stained with blood. The gown's sleeves in particular are stained with blood that appears to have been spread as if rubbed off. But staining Kizuki was spread in this father's sensation rubbed by something. Alright. The book used as the weapon is the 5th and 9th graduation album from Academy's normal album. All the album goes to the library. One corner of the bookcase used as a weapon is stained with blood, and starting from that spot, blood spatters across the front cover. Also some smudged spots. The back of the case also has drops of blood, but unlike the ones in the front, they are dots. On the floor near the body, 3 or 4 books lie scattered. now all in contact with a pool of blood that spilled from the head. Well, the blood doesn't seem to bottom the books. Furthermore, further books are empty between the top shelves of the bookshelf nearby Kizuki's shed near Felde. Toilet paper that Kizuki usually carries around disappeared and was never found anywhere in the school. A ladder placed in the library, Kizuki usually uses it to climb high places. She always uses it and she needed to take out a book. This item picked from the book from the desk where Tomoe and the fingerprint identification were working, but it wasn't there from the start. It was a strange object. It suddenly appeared during the investigation. The floor was wiped with something dry. The bottom of the carpet was completely soaked. Within 10 minutes, it will no longer leave a stain. Liquid absorbed into the carpet barely dries even after 2 hours. The door leading to the pool from the men's and women's locker room were reportedly broken and were stuck open between 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, so if I'm gathering this correctly, this was probably, okay, so this was probably smudged, this was probably wiped, this was probably wiped with tissue, the tissue that disappeared. This is a piece of tissue that was ripped off, right? Whose fingerprints were left on this? Let me see. Let me go back and look at the picture. Hold on a second, y'all. Has my stream restarted? I'm confused. Wait, what happened to the rest of my stream? Oh, this is crazy. Hold on now. Hold on. I'm looking at my stream and there's only so many minutes. How come I can't? We're supposed to be streaming for an hour, over an hour, but how come there's only several minutes of my stream available? Only a couple minutes of my stream available for me to see. Hold on, I'm gonna end this